It's Bronwyn Billington here, also known as the Dynamite Doll, and you're watching one of my favorite YouTubers and podcasters, Wom Breezy. Stay dynamite.
Big shout out to Bronwyn for that intro. Amazing person. I am on with Vigilante Talks, the man who says it how it is. He is one content creator who's very underrated. He's now my good friend. Where do we even start with you, man? The content that you do, like I've just said, you are very underrated. You should be up there.
I appreciate it, man. I think up there, like some people call it, you get there when you're supposed to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at this point, I think I am at the. I think I'm. Tashk was the first person to say that I'm underrated. I actually feel. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed, right? Because you know, let's say on my Facebook account I have 55,000 followers. On my TikTok account I have 47,000 followers. On my Instagram I got 35,000 followers. I only been doing wrestling content creation for 11 months. So I think I think it's happening the way it's supposed to be happening. You know what I mean? Like I'm just taking my time with it and I'm rolling. And the thing is, I don't think about that. Yeah, like my content, I do it to have fun. If you look at most of my videos, whenever I do get on camera, I actually don't like getting on camera much. I'm laughing and shit the whole time because I enjoy doing it. You know what
So you mentioned you don't like being on camera, but you're on camera now. So
I
thank you for coming on.
mean?
I really do appreciate it.
I do it just for you, man.
What can I say? I'm your favourite Brit, apart from Mrs. Test.
Exactly.
You mentioned you've been doing this for 11 months. What
Mhm.
made you start doing this?
Well, I was doing other type of content, right? Like I was first when I was younger, I used to rap, right? And that didn't work out. I didn't have a team, you could say, right? So that's where I had to learn how to do graphics design so I could do my own covers. And I had to learn how to produce beats and how to record myself, how to engineer when I did music videos, I edited videos myself and all of that. So I learned how to do all of that stuff. Then from that, I just started being like a contractor graphic designer, I guess. For and here in the area where I live at in United States in Washington D.C., most I would say about 90% of the clubs in this area, I'm the one that do their flyers and handle their social medias. So that's mostly what I was doing. And then one day, um, my wife asked me, like, yeah, why don't you do more social media, right? And then I told her, being an arrogant bastard that I am, I was like, because it might be too easy. So you're like, what you mean? And then I'm like, and aside from it too easy, people's not gonna like it. So the first video that I did was based on the bloodline.
Mm.
And I was talking the way I talk. You know what I mean? Like I didn't call nobody by their name. I gave everybody a fucking nickname. Jay Uso was the main event super kicker. Jimmy Uso was super kicker number two. Roman was the tribal queef, which a lot of people don't give me the credit for, but I was the person that came up with the tribal queef, right?
Mm.
I was also the first person to ever call Damian Priest bisexual Undertaker in my videos, because that when my videos first started, I like I said, I didn't call nobody by their names because it was just a troll, right?
Mm.
And I posted that video on TikTok, and that video got, I think it was like 150,000 views overnight. And then I told my wife, "You see, it's just too easy." And then she was like, "Then fucking do it." And then I just like the comments, people were like asking. So I just kept on after that.
Mad guy, honestly. Crazy. So you mentioned obviously you do videos and stuff. So why don't you help me? Why don't we work together?
So this is the problem, right? I don't mind helping, but I'm too you know what I mean? Now that you told me that, now I feel like I gotta do it, right? So this is the thing. So I do a lot of people, aside from content creating myself, m- many people might not know this, but I am Alan Owens.
Heard of the name?
Yeah, Alan Owens. He's a huge content creator, especially just general, but also in wrestling. Like on his TikTok, he has two TikTok pages. One of them has 3.4 million followers. The other one
Wow.
half a million followers. I'm his editor. I edit all his stuff. Mr. Tesh, I edit all his stuff.
Oh, so
Mr.
you're the person that edits his stuff now. It's been
Yeah,
revealed.
Mr. Tesh, his podcast, I edit his stuff.
Okay.
You have, and there's a few more people that I edit their stuff, right? Every once in a while, the one Mona, I edit some of her stuff too. So I just I deal with a lot of it.
Yeah, but if there's money to be made, I'm sure you can.
Hey,
Money,
I got a family to feed.
money talks, brother. Money talks.
Exactly.
We'll
So
talk after this.
we'll definitely will.
So the question is, who's your tribal chief? Is it this man?
Of course, that's not a question. We don't even ask that. That is the original tribal chief, the
Definitely.
only tribal chief,
100%, man. And
the only person other than him that I would acknowledge as the tribal chief at some point when it does happen might be Scylla Fatu. But
100, yeah.
that's a conversation for later on.
Zilla Fatu, I've had him on the podcast, and he is an unbelievable talent as well.
Yes, unbelievable guy too.
Yeah, very humbled, very great in the ring. Said that he's only been doing it a year and a half, and it's just a matter of when that he makes that jump to the WWE. It's going to be
Catch
amazing.
catch this. So, um, some people that have been following my content, like Tesh, he would tell you that Scylla's career and mine is so similar and is and it goes together, right? So when I started doing content, the first video that I did that went viral had like on TikTok like 500,000 views, and on Facebook it had like 3.5 million views, right? Was his debut, was Scylla's debut. At this point, nobody, some people knew about Zilla, but not everybody. You understand what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I remember on his Instagram, he had like 10,000 views, 10,000 followers or something like that at that time. After that video, his shit just boomed, right? But it was supposed to happen because he's a talent and he's a great talent. But it so happened that the video of me, that the video that I did of him that went viral was my first viral video, but it was also his first viral video as well.
It's fucking amazing.
And yeah, and then we have just become huge friends after that, to the point where I could honestly say that if you want to follow Scylla's career and what's going on with him, your best bet is to go to my Instagram page. That's where everything
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
And I've seen your Instagram page, and I like, what is it that you say? You say, I'm the person that you should be following, or if you're not, you need to.
Uh,
What's the little.
okay, so I came up with that, right, because like I said, I was like I told you before, when I started doing video, I was trolling, right?
Mm,
So then I told my wife, I want to find a way to tell people. I want to find a way to troll content creators. Every content creator, you hear them say at the end, hit like, comment, follow, share, right?
like the little thing at the bottom.
Yeah, right. Like, like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. So what's another way to do that, right? Is let's talk about it. I'm telling you to comment. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it because that's what you follow me for, or should follow me.
I like it.
Yeah, so that's how I came up with that. And I think it got to the point where, bro, like my comments when I first started was people saying that, like, this is why I follow you for, this is why I follow you for, and that's just it became kind of like the slogan. So most
Mm.
of the like OG followers, whenever I make a video that is on point, like let's say the bad blood prediction that I did video that I did 2 weeks ago, excuse me, that I did 2 weeks ago. When it happened yesterday, word per word, the way I said it with the thing with the rock, I woke up this morning to almost 300 followers of people just saying, "Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it." That's what that's what we follow you for. That's what we follow you for. You know what
Unbelievable, man.
I mean? Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the thing with my videos. My videos, they're not impactful the day that I post them. They impactful later because I don't really talk on my videos on what's going on now. I talk about what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I do with my content, right? I have great friends with Mr. Tesh. Mr. Tesh is more Tesh is like a brother to me, right? Aside from Tesh, I got Alan Owen. Alan Owens is we talk on a daily basis. Um Tyler Suplex. You know Suplex, right?
Mhm.
Suplex was the first content creator to send me a message when I had like 3,000 followers, and he was like, "Yo, your content is amazing. You're great." Right? So all these guys, they they do reactions, and whenever a PLE is coming around, they do a content predicting what's gonna happen in the PLEs and all of that. So I feel like as their friend, as their brother, as I like to call myself, right? We all peers. I don't want to be the new guy that comes in trying to do what you do.
Mhm.
That's what you do. So I let you do that. So if you look at my content, I probably did some reactions here and there, but it wasn't like something where I sat on a thing and I did a live and I was reacting. It's more of I'm chilling in my Discord server. I just plugged my Discord server, by the way. On my Discord server, and we're having a watch party, and I got my camera on while I'm talking to the people on my Discord server, and I happen to like something and I clip it. It's not like I sit down to react. So my content is more. I watch Monday Night Raw today. I recap what happened a bit, not too much, of I don't go word per word telling you what happened. I'm more of the storytelling, right? I recap a little bit of what happened and I talk about why I think it's happening or what's supposed to happen next.
Yeah.
Uh, and I did that because what social media like is retention, and what social media like is returning, right? And that's business. That's what business is. The business on sales and everything. It's not new customers. It's the returning customers. So that's the way
Mhm.
I thought about it, and I guess that was a little bit of my marketing degree when I started. So the way I thought of my content was putting everything I know about marketing.
Yeah.
So and that's how I went about it. Okay, I'm gonna recap a little bit. So I have a 1 minute video. I'm gonna give you the first 2 seconds. I'm gonna say some outlandish shit that is either you're gonna find it really funny, or whoever I'm talking about, fans are gonna lose their shit. But when they lose their shit, they're gonna comment, which means it's gonna engage with my content. Right? I'm like,
Absolutely.
I'm giving y'all some classes, so take some notes. So I got the hook line in the first 3 seconds, 3, 4, 5 seconds.
Mhm.
Boom, got that done. Either you're gonna laugh or either you're gonna hate it, but it's gonna get you. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Then from the 5th to the 7th second is my slogan. Let's talk about it because that's what you follow me for or should follow me. I
Yeah.
already got that. I already got that out of the way. I already got you to comment, and if you haven't commented yet, or if you did, now I got you to follow me. So then my next 20 to 40 seconds is talking about, the match that or the storyline that I'm going through, right? What happened. And then the first few seconds, the last 50 to 90 seconds, I'm telling you what's going to happen next. So most likely that's when my returning customers are going to be,
Yeah.
because whether I'm right or wrong, people are going to come back
100%.
and tell me, "Oh, you were right," or "You were wrong." I also try to reply to everybody, because you cannot have a slogan say "Let's talk about it," but then you don't talk. Correct? So I try to reply to everybody, and that makes people come back when it happens. So either tell me whether I was wrong or whether I was right. And yeah, that's just the basis of my content. Now everybody gonna take my shit and I'm fucked.
You're original, man, and that's what I like. And you're not one of them people that does 40, 50, 60, half an hour videos. You do short and sweet, straight to the point, talking about it, bang, done,
Mm.
uploaded, couple of
Yeah,
100 views,
yeah,
1,000 views, and bang, you're doing it.
yeah. I think my longest video on YouTube is like 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, everything else is within 3 minutes. I try to keep it that way. Like I don't want to prolong what you came to my content to see. You understand what I'm saying?
hmm And that's what people, I mean, what I do, so my channel, I don't know if you've had the chance to have a look, but what I do is the interviews, and then I do traveling videos as well, funny enough. So the interviews that I do, sometimes there's something on the internet called Opus Clips.
Yes.
So I use that, but sometimes it doesn't give me the right what I want. Do you know what I'm saying? So say for example, it'll put Zilla Fatu, but it'll put like we know it's Zilla Fatu, but they'll mess his name up. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I want the clip. So I'm not very good at what's the word? I'm not very good at what's the word?
Clipping.
Yeah, I'm not very good at clipping, editing,
Mm.
thumbnails. So I've got a thumbnail guy, and he's brilliant. I've got I can't edit for shit. I've tried it. I can't edit for shit.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it takes time for it, doesn't it?
the thing is with those AIs like Opus Clips, right? It's nice. It's dope that let's say for somebody like you said, you don't know how to edit, you don't know how to do that. It could work sometime, correct? But it's kind of like I had a content creator who's probably had like 3,000 followers now, and he DM me a lot. I noticed like last week, by the time I checked, I have like 20 DMs for him telling him, "Hey, can you teach me? Can you teach me? Can you teach me? I want to get into algorithm and stuff like that." And I was like, "That's probably the problem why your content is not blowing up because you're trying to chase the algorithm.
Mm.
Don't chase the algorithm. Chase the person. Chase the people."
Yeah.
You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Don't make content for algorithm. An algorithm is it's not gonna watch your shit. It's gonna be a human, right?
hmm
So, a lot of people tell me on my content when they see my content, "Oh, you're very biased." Well, yeah. I mean, like, I don't go fuck. I am. What the fuck? You want me to sit here? Let's say if you go on my Instagram page or any of my social media, you ain't gonna see now one video talking about the Wyatt Six. Any other content creator was jumping on that shit because that was the shit at the moment, right? But
hmm
it's not something that I care too much about. Like the first week, oh yeah, it was cool, it was nice. When they debuted it, yeah, that was amazing. I spoke about it a little bit, but then that's it. I never spoke about it no more because it's not what I give a fuck about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said if I was chasing the algorithm, I will make a video about that, but it probably wouldn't have been as great as when I did the video when, you know, why this match at Bad Blood had to happen. Like you could tell in the video when I'm talking, when I'm saying it, like I believe it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's
100%
that's what
passionate as well.
yeah, that's what I mean by, chase the humans, don't chase the algorithm. And you could tell you in my comments is either people that are as biased as me or people who hate that I'm that biased. You're either gonna have people that really love Roman Reigns and they're gonna acknowledge the tribal chief when I make a video, or you're gonna have the Cody haters, the Cody crybabies that hate the tribal chief, or they there to curse me out because I'm always saying that Cody's a bitch. But it's just how I feel. I don't like the character. You know what I'm saying? So like if I want to chase the algorithm, the best thing I could do right now is talk about how great Cody is. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he is great, but it's not the character I like. So I don't talk about it like that.
I see where you're coming from with that. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'll give you a prime example. Do you know what I mean? With me,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at my top 6 most popular interviews I have had,
Mm-hmm.
4 of them is the Anawai Fatu family
Gotcha.
because they are fucking huge. It's a big family. And Zilla, what you mentioned, red hot. My Zilla video's got 1.1k views, 40 plus likes, so many comments. Jacob's video, 2.4k views, and again, the likes and comments.
Hmm.
I mean, if people comment on my stuff, I will interact with them. It's like some of my videos, depending on who it is, I'll get like 60 views. But to me, that's good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not a very big I'm not a big name. Don't get me wrong, not by far. Do I want to be a big name? Of course I do. Do you know what I mean? Everyone wants to be a big name. But
Everybody would, yeah, exactly.
things take time. Do you know what I mean?
That's the way you got to look at it, and you also got to look at it this way, right? You building a resume. You understand what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
your type of channel, that's what you're doing. You building a resume. So when it gets to the point where you have to prove yourself, as in, let's say, um, people, let's say some people might try to say, let's say they compare me and you, for example, right?
Hmm.
I wouldn't be able to do the type of work that you do. You can do long-term conversations. I don't want to say who you were talking to before you spoke to me, but you just did a long interview and now you jump
Yeah,
into another long interview. I can't do that. You understand what I'm saying? So
I do. Yeah,
you building that resume where you have people that say, okay, I'm at work, I'm on my way to work, or I'm sitting here, I'm bored, I want to watch something that is gonna take me some time to watch. All right, let's go to Warm Breezy because I'm gonna be able to find a 30-40 minute video there and just sit back and relax. You know what I mean?
100%.
That same person with me might get fucking frustrated because they're gonna have to keep switching to be able to go through 40 minutes of my work because my work is 90 seconds to 3 minutes the most.
Yeah,
So it takes time. Eventually you will find that pocket of people that enjoy this type of work, and then you know that's just how it is, bro. It takes time.
hundred
It takes.
percent. And I think people don't realize that's like you. Obviously, you've got the marketing background, you've got the tools and software, you've got the knowledge, and you've used that. And in the past year,
Hmm.
you are fucking amazing. I've watched your stuff, and I'm like, I'll give you a prime example. I watched the Rock thing on why it happened, and I was like, is that it? I wanted to carry on. Do you know what I mean? Because I was getting so invested in what you were saying. I was like,
Yeah.
fucking hell, mate, carry on talking. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I
you are
appreciate that.
amazing, man. Amazing. I love your content and I love what you do. And I think the way you talk and then it goes with it, and then the pictures, and then you're like, let's talk about it. And the little nicknames that you give people, it's different, in it? And not many people
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah.
So,
And that's how it is. It's just building your own identity, right? If you go through the comments on my channel, you could tell who has been following me for a while because they would name the wrestler by the nickname that I gave them.
mhm.
And then I like to say, yo, shout out to the people that I don't say follow me. Shout out to the people that fuck with me, right? I'm sorry if I'm cursing in your channel. You don't like
So,
that.
yeah,
It's
fine.
just I just can't control myself, right? It's the New Yorker in me. And shout out to the people that fuck with me because whenever I have one of those random people that don't follow me, he go like, oh, his name is not the what was it that some guy said the other day? Oh, his name is not the American fairy tale, it's the American nightmare. If you're gonna talk about somebody, know what you're saying. And I didn't even have to respond because the vigilante hives went in. Like I call him the American fairy tale because it's the name that I gave him. That's how I see him. He's not a nightmare to me. Yeah,
Mm,
and eventually, like I said, like I kept telling you, you'll find that group of people that 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 is your personal
mhm,
niche and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, um, let's say any of them, right? Wheezy Blonde, right? Most likely her followers won't ever be my followers. Because if you look at the way she talks and the way she carries herself and the way that she does her content, it's completely different to mine. You
yeah,
know, I went on a post that she did not too long ago, and I made a comment, and people were killing me. But it's just how I normally talk, correct? And
yeah.
it is for everybody. You know what I mean? I have had um some of let's say Alan Owens followers that made a comment on my followers, and people just fucking attacked them because it's different people, and we all got to understand that we all got different things. Like my looking at my analytics, right? The percentage of my followers that are younger than 24 are literally 2%, 3%, right? From 24 to 34 and from 44 and up, I have like about 75% of my followers are in that age,
That's mad.
which lets you know all my followers are fucking adults. That's why they don't feel offended when I'm on my content and I say fuck and I say shit and all this stupid stuff that I be saying. They don't get offended because it's they grown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's enough people out there for everybody to just enjoy it. I don't care to have 1 million followers. I don't care to have 3 million followers, right? I care to have, let's say, instead of 1 million followers, if I could have 50,000 followers like I got on my Facebook that they all watch my stuff and appreciate it, I'm good with that.
Awesome, man.
Because now I got the people that actually want to see my content following. Yeah.
I see what you mean by that. Who is your favorite wrestler currently that you like to watch?
Currently,
Hmm.
aside from Roman Reigns, or can I
Yeah.
just leave?
Aside from Roman Reigns, or you can leave him. It's up to you. Your choice.
I have a few, man. I have a few that I like to. Okay, so I can't just say one, right? I could name you a few of them for different reasons, right? One of the people that I'm gonna say is Dominic Mysterio, and people's gonna be like, "Why the fuck do you like watch?" See, like the face he just made, like why Dominic?
Just random.
But yes, but it's because I like to see the development. If you look at Dominic from 2 years ago in ring, and you look at Dominic from now, you see the improvement that Dominic have made in ring.
100%.
You see the improvement that he have made on the mic, right? So yeah, I like to see improvements. But if there's somebody that I like to see in ring, is Roman. I don't think other than Seth Rollins, I don't think nobody has the ability to tell a story the way Roman does. Everything from when he looks at something or an expression on his face, uh, the shoulder shrug, everything about Roman is saying something. When you watch a Roman match, it's not the comeback, and that's another thing. There's a reason why every time Roman wrestles somebody, that person elevates.
Yeah.
Think about it. Roman hasn't buried nobody. When Roman got in the ring with LA Knight, elevated the shit out of LA Knight because he adapted to the way LA Knight wrestled. When he wrestled Sami Zayn was the same thing. When he wrestled Cody, is the same thing. Like he got the ability to adapt to whoever he's facing, and
Yeah, so
that's one of the reasons why he's my favorite wrestler.
Jey Uso as well.
Jey Uso, I think Jey Uso is one of my favorite characters, like one of my favorite wrestlers. I mean, you could tell. I mean, if you look at my page, if you go on my Instagram, my 3 pin um posts are about Jay, right? But I feel like some things are a gift and a curse. The yeet thing was a gift and a curse for him in my point of view. It was a gift because of the amount of popularity that he gained and what has come with it. But also, if you look at Jay's promo performance from before the yeet was a thing and you look at them now, it's completely different. He went from being able to pull an emotional promo to just saying yeet 50 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I mean I'm very critical when it comes to stuff like that.
I see where you're coming from. Are you an AEW guy?
I watch AEW. I watch AEW. I can't say I'm a full on AEW guy. There's certain probably AEW wrestlers that I thought that I watch their stuff, but I tell you one thing, and this might give me a lot of heat. personally, I think AEW puts on better pay-per-views than WWE do.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to the weekly programming and storyline and overall production, WWE is running it.
100%.
Yeah,
Oh,
but yeah, I watch AEW here and there.
do you ever could we ever see more AEW content from you, like you do with WWE?
No, and the reason why is because I used to do AEW content when I started doing content, and they gave me 2 strikes, and specifically on 2 videos where I spoke about Tony, and I got
What?
a strike. And I got a strike on each of those videos that I spoke about Tony. So I was like, okay, I mean, your loss. I don't do your content no more. But before that, I had videos. I mean, AEW videos. And each of my AEW videos that I did before that were getting more views than my WWE video because everybody coverages WWE. Not
Mhm.
many people coverage everything else. That's another thing with my followers too. My followers, they go to my page because they know I'm gonna talk about the indies as well, right? I'm probably like one of the only content creators that today you'll wake up and I have a HOG video up and I have a GCW thing, MCW. Like I cover the indies as well, and I just, because of that, you know what I mean. Like one of my Instagram is demonetized because of AEW.
Funny
so
guy.
I don't, so I don't mess with it, and a lot of people ask for it too.
You've done an interview with Zilla, is that correct?
I haven't, done an interview with them. I have not. I did an interview with Ricochet.
That's it. Who else have
Yeah,
you interviewed with? You've done one
that's it.
with. Oh wow.
That's
Come
it.
on.
And I'm gonna tell you the reason why, right? Um, Remember what I said to you earlier about chasing the algorithm? I don't chase the algorithm. I chase the human. If I ever get into interviewing people, I want to do it in person.
Okay.
I want to be able to have the budget and the backing to say, okay, today I'm going to interview Zilla. We're going to travel to wherever it is, and we're going to sit face to face and we're going to talk. You know what I mean? Because I don't. That's what I want. Like that's my dream. So my thing is vigilante talks, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
look at it, when you hear the name, it doesn't sound like a content creator. It sounds like a fucking show because
Yeah.
that was my goal. My goal was to have a talk show. That's where vigilante talks come from. And when you go to talk shows, you're talking to people there, and
Okay.
that's the ultimate goal at some point.
I like that. So, what would
Yeah.
you say the biggest goal for 2025 is? Because you've been doing this for 11 months now. 2025 is up on the horizon for us. What is 2025 going to be like for Vigilante Talks?
So for me, by 2025, I hope that I have built enough of a business or enough of a content, like I have gone full-time content creator,
Okay.
because the talk show is the goal. That's where I want to get to by 2025. I want to get to the talk show, and it's to the point where I don't want to have to chase the wrestlers. I want this company to say you need to have an interview with Vigilante Talks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the aim for me right now.
I like that.
And now by 2026, right? So you can see how I think. I don't think about
Yeah.
today. By 2026, I want to be the first person that owns a all wrestling radio station.
Okay.
Every hour there's a different wrestling radio show. That's what I that's the ultimate goal for 2026.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
different. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
I'm in talks with Arha Radio at the moment, trying to figure out how they can help me. They reached out to me because they wanted me to host the show, and I told them, I want more than just a show, man. And I told them the idea that I have. So it's a little expensive, you know, to
it.
to this is it's very expensive, but they trying to guide me on how to get it done, and I'm working to get that done.
Yeah. Well,
So
hopefully, it,
so whenever so yeah, get ready. If by 2026 I get it done, yeah, I'm probably gonna have a warm breezy show on my radio station.
I'd love that. Yeah. The goal for me is just keep producing as many interviews, not whether that's just wrestlers, content creators like yourself. I've had ring announcers on, I've had promoters on, I'll have it all on. I'll have, as long as you're ready, you do some wrestling, I'll have you on.
I actually like what you do because this is so I was telling my wife I was having this interview with you, right? So she was asking me who you were and what do you do, and then I was like, I wouldn't call him a wrestling podcast. It's more of a wrestling culture podcast.
I like
And the reason why is because you're not just interviewing wrestlers, you're interviewing anything that has to do with wrestling. So you are actually following the culture of wrestling, not just, so there you go, man. I just gave you some pointers for your marketing.
do you know what? I'm going to use that. I love that. Wrestling Culture Podcast. I like that.
Yeah, that's actually a good name, Wrestling Culture Podcast, because that's what it is.
I appreciate that, man. And
Mhm.
especially coming from you. You know what I mean?
That coming from me, come on, man. I'm not like that, like the biggest thing ever, But yeah,
It doesn't matter. You're a good
yeah.
in my eyes. You're a good content creator. You took your time out to do this with me. You're a very humble guy. You look like Jacob Fatu.
Oh my god, bro, I hate that. Dude, have you seen the comments, bro? Especially when I make a Jacob video.
Mm.
The
You do look like him.
but whenever I make a Jacob Fatu video, right? I don't know if you noticed. After his debut, I haven't done another one because the comments on the debut, it was crazy because people's like, "Oh shit, look, it's Jacob talking about Jacob." So I'm like, "Oh man, I need to stop that shit."
No, but seriously, I'm very grateful that you've done this because taking the time out of your time to speak to me. I know it's different because you're in America and I'm the UK, so it's the time difference. If you look out there, it's getting dark, so it's a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, getting that time of year again. So I'm very grateful that you are doing this to me. You've helped me a lot, and I will continue to support you and everything else. So when we finish this, we will be having a nice little chat how you can help me. Do you know what I mean? And I'll help you. So that will work out. Who is your Mount Rushmore of who is your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling?
Yeah. I was kind of afraid that question was gonna come up.
I ask it everyone.
Yeah, that's why. So, you know how everybody try to be political correct about shit, right? But we gotta look at the question you asked me. Who is my Mount Rushmore, right?
Mhm.
Mine personally, and my Mount Rushmore is a lot different than a lot of people, right? So my Mount Rushmore has, um, obviously the Undertaker.
Mhm.
Okay, my Mount Rushmore. One of them is a two-headed. It's half heads, right? And it's Razor Ramon and HBK, and I'm gonna get into that. Why, right? Then you have Stone Cold and Roman Reigns.
I like that.
So the reason why HBK and Razor Ramon is one head is because the first match that I ever saw on TV and I fell in love with wrestling. I remember I didn't even know English at that time. It was when I migrated from Dominican Republic to New York. And the first match that I ever saw was Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon when they both were Intercontinental title and they had a ladder match.
Just something I need to.
There you go. That was the match that made me fall in love with wrestling. I saw that match and I was like, "What the fuck is this? I need to watch this." So that's why for me that's double headed, right? The Undertaker is because it's the Undertaker. There's no point in time where I watch wrestling where the Undertaker was irrelevant. Even now, the Undertaker is not wrestling and he's still relevant because he got his podcast and it's probably one of the best wrestling podcasts you can listen to. Right?
100%.
Um Stone Cold career was short lived, but wrestling wouldn't be what wrestling is without that character, right? To the point where he made the Attitude Era what the Attitude Era was, and the Attitude Era is the point of reference. Every time you want to talk about how great wrestling was, or how great wrestling is, and what wrestling is becoming, the first thing people say is Attitude Era, nothing else. Even now,
Yeah.
yesterday, a lot of the comments from people that saw Bad Blood, he was like, "Oh, I felt like I was watching the Attitude Era again." You know, it couldn't happen to the point where the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre match paid a homage to Stone Cold yesterday, and a lot most people didn't catch it. You know what I mean? And then
You are on about this.
exactly, see what I'm saying? I was talking about it. You already had to know. Yeah.
That's
So
good thinking.
yeah, there you go. See, that's what I'm telling you. Your podcast is the Wrestling Culture Podcast. I'm pretty sure not many people will have that on cue. You didn't even know I was going to talk about that. You know?
I was actually going to mention that next.
Oh, there you go. And then Roman Reigns, because um wrestling became alive again.
Mhm.
Once he turned into the tribal chief, wrestling became cool again. And you know, I had a conversation through my comments with somebody the other day when I said uh Roman is the GOAT. And the guy responded and he said, "Oh, he might be your GOAT, but my GOAT is John Cena." And I was like, and I told him, "Well, your GOAT just recognize my GOAT as the GOAT. So Roman is the GOAT." You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. And that's just where it stays. Nothing will ever change that conversation for me.
If you think about that with Roman Reigns, though, he came in with the Shield with, we'll call him John Moxley and Seth Rollins, right? And then for 3 years or 2.5 years, they were dominant together. And then after that, a certain someone was trying to make him and push him to the moon. It didn't work. It did, but it didn't. And then when
Mhm.
he won the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia with The Rock's help, God, that place booed him, man. Like, fuck.
Mhm.
And then
Terribly.
if you think 2020 goes away, because obviously COVID, it could kill him, right? So comes back, same gear, same everything, as a heel. Then he
Mhm.
gets aligned with Paul Heyman. Then he loses the gear. Then he gets some
Mhm.
new music. Then he goes with the Usos. And then
It just kept evolving,
that's when the
evolving,
rest is history.
evolving. And it hasn't stopped evolving. And
He's still going.
it's not gonna stop no time soon. Jacob had 7 kids. It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop no time soon, bro.
Okay, now. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a story that's still evolving. And do you know what I mean? He brought the Tongans in, the Tongaloa, fucking
And,
Tamatonga.
and these dudes are all talented. It's not like you could say, "Oh no, it's just a storyline." Yes, it's a great storyline, but the storyline wouldn't be as captivating if the dudes that were playing in the storyline weren't as good as they are. You know,
100%.
and at the middle of it all, the catalyst on it is Roman Reigns.
Like you mentioned, the elevating people, so many people. And I think the fact that the Rock's come back, it just adds that little bit more spice to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Because
yes.
we're all thinking, what is the end game for it? Is the end game them two fighting and then one of them wins?
It- that's where it's going. That's where it's going. I think you know. Remember again. I go back to the same thing, right? Where I told you before. It's all about the humans. You gotta connect to the human emotion, and that's what the WWE is doing with the bloodline, right? So you put yourself in a position, let's say character wise, you put yourself in the position of The Rock, correct? The
Mhm.
Rock came back. He wanted to have this amazing match with his cousin that was going to sell tickets and it was going to go down in history. But it didn't
Backfire.
Cody because Cody decided to get in the way, right? And then Cody disrespected The Rock and disrespected their family when The Rock put this beautiful family tree together to show respect to his family and all of that. And
Mhm.
then because of respect and love for his family, he acknowledged Roman as the tribal chief. and Roman loses. Remember, the thing with The Rock is all family. Yesterday, when he came out, he went like this. That's a sign for family. So The Rock fights with you, has The Rock as a character took on the fans as enemies and all of that, right?
Mhm.
You lose your title. The Rock leaves. And then The Rock comes back. The Rock finds you fighting your family after you lost your title with your worst enemy, who has become The Rock worst enemy. That's where the human emotion comes in. Because then you put yourself in the position of The Rock and you're like, so my brother is now chilling, is now partners with my worst enemy. And that's where the story going. That's just it. The story is going there. And look at what they did. After Bad Blood, Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes. It's just to keep Cody Rhodes away from this for a while. So The Rock and Romans could deal with their bloodline situation. Because that's where the emotions are, right? Again, with Cody and Kevin, there's emotions there. This is two friends that are one friend that betrayed another friend, and you know what I mean. So yeah, that's where they're going, and I'm here for it. I'm
Yeah,
here for
I see what you mean, man. And it's just money.
it.
Money's going to talk with this feud, and it's
Hell yeah,
the climax of it's going to be amazing.
hell yeah, hell yeah.
I always ask everyone an inspirational message. What would yours be?
Um, my inspirational message is really short. Is get it done.
I like that. Straight
Yeah,
to the point. Straight, quick, and simple.
get it done. My wife asked me the other day. We were driving back from the beach. We had a few days off. We driving back home. She go like, if you could tell yourself from 10 years ago something, you today could tell him something. I said, what would you say? And I would say, get it done. Because 10, 15 years ago, when YouTube wasn't this big thing, or there wasn't really any social media pop and Instagram had just came out, right? I was thinking this could be a moneymaker.
Mhm.
And people wasn't thinking of YouTube and Instagram like that. But then, you know, listening to people advice is like, that's for kids. Don't waste your time doing that. I didn't do it. And I started doing it last year. But if I would have done it 10, 15 years ago, I probably would have been in a different position right now. So that's why my message is get it done.
I love that, man. Where can
Yeah.
people find you?
I make it easy for people. That's when the marketing thing comes in, right? Vigilante Talks everywhere. Anywhere that you put Vigilante Talks, I'm gonna pop up. You could Google it, and it's just gonna be me all over the place.
I like that. Well,
Yeah,
honestly, I've enjoyed the conversation that I've had with you. 50,
like
it's coming up to 50 minutes, man. You're an unbelievable guy. Jacob FATU, stunt double. I love it. You know what
you
I
need
mean?
to stop. Yeah, I acknowledge Jacob Fatu as a possible tribal chief at some point.
Yeah. You're an unbelievable guy, man. Thank you for coming on. I would definitely have you again in 2025. We'll be talking about that radio station opportunity that you'll be having. Hopefully, have me as a guest, you know?
Of course, and I want to thank you for inviting me, and yeah, man, having me on your show. I appreciate it,
It's all right,
and
man.
trust me, you're gonna go places because I've been to some podcasts before, and you know, like I said, yours is more of wrestling culture. I think you should follow that. I think you should go through with that. And yeah, I appreciate you, man. You the man.
I appreciate that, man, especially those words coming from you. You know, you're an unbelievable guy, content creator. Nothing but great things to say about you. You know what I mean? I
Thank,
can't put into words.
thank you, man.
All right, mate. Take it easy.
All right, brother.